our discussion segment, which is our Hollywood Studios attraction tier list. So if you are new to what a tier list is, instead of doing like a top 5 or top 10, you break these down a little bit more, I would just say detailed.
Subcategories.
It makes for a good discussion. So the categories, we have 6 tiers. So we have S tier, which is S is the top. Mm-hmm. S stands for superb. Then you have A tier, which is a ride every time. Mm-hmm. B tier, which is mid. C tier is skippable. D is someone will like it. And then F tier is just no. Nobody would like this. This is terrible. Don't do this. Not many things go in there, but it's there for select things. I guess you could put it that way.
Okay.
So that is our tier list, and then we will go through. We will rank them where we think that certain things belong. So we're just doing attractions. Are we doing any? Do you want to do shows as well? Like
these are included. Shows and rides are all attractions.
Okay.
And there are 18 of them.
Yeah, and as it typically goes with us, Jamie already has a list prepared. I am doing this in the heart. I think how this is supposed to be, which is a discussion
on the fly, if you will.
Yes, that's how I operate. See, when I was in school, all I needed was bullet points.
We are very different.
We are very different. You would have loved high school me.
I honestly
5 minutes for a class, I'd been like, hey, come here.
Nope. I would have not liked you.
What's the answer on number 17?
No. Good thing I did not know you in high school.
Whatever.
Seriously.
Whatever.
Ooh.
All right. What's the first one you want to do?
All right. Well, I'm going to start by section. I'm going to go by sections of the park. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine. By the way, if you're in the live stream, feel free to participate. And then when we get done with this, we'll go through and read some comments and maybe we'll change it. I have been known to change my mind sometimes. I can be swayed and bribed, if I'm being honest.
All right, let's start in Echo Lake.
Okay.
Echo Lake. Let's start with Star Tours. The adventure continues. Where would you put Star Tours?
See, the thing is, and this is going to be controversial to some people, I think this is the second best Star Tours ride in all of Hollywood Studios, and it's just a constant. Like it's a solid experience you have every single time. Like you have the multiple. One thing I do like about it is all the different things you can experience with it. So it does have rewritability. Mm-hmm. You get the different scenes, and they just added some new ones as well.
Was it like it's like hundreds of different like?
The combos. It's a bunch of different combinations that you could get. So
and they just added the new scenes.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah, that's what I just said.
Sorry.
So for that reason, I personally would put it. I'm torn between A and B. Like I personally would ride this every single time, and our kids like it too. And the wait times aren't that bad. I guess where would you put it?
I would not put it at A. I would put it at B though.
See, I'm torn. Like B, I think makes sense.
Yeah.
It's definitely not skippable. Like I know a lot of people may skip it, but I think it's a solid ride. It actually has pretty well, like for as old as that ride is, the queue is really cool in terms of like being Star Wars and like old school Star Wars. You got the AT-AT outside, so it's got a lot of the cool elements to it. And again, unless it's an insanely busy park day, you're probably talking 5 to 10 minutes. The
most I've seen it lately is at like maybe 25.
Yeah, and like in the evenings, you probably can get on pretty quick. So, okay, I'm good. We can put it at B. I think it's a solid B attraction.
Okay, got it. All right, next one is Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular.
I love this. I love Indiana Jones. Again, I recognize the original trilogy. It ended with what was the one with Sean Connery? I'm drawing a blank now.
Last Crusade.
Oh my gosh,
Last
I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Gosh, somebody yell at me. Yeah, The Last Crusade. So I don't count the new Indiana Jones at all for me. But so I would put. I love the stunt show. We haven't seen it. Actually, we need to take our kids to it.
We do. We really do because I think our daughter last time she saw it she was like 4, so she doesn't.
I
remember
don't remember
it
going to it with her though.
Yeah, we did.
I think our son would like. So for those who know, our kids are 7 and 4. Mm-hmm. So I think our son would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So I love it. So for me, it's okay. This gets into like how do you do like shows? I guess I would probably go, even though we don't do it every time. I'm tempted to put it in A.
I disagree.
Okay, what do you put it?
I would put it at C.
You put it at C?
I put it at C. This is a skippable one for me. I love it. It is skippable though, because first of all, you have to get there fairly early because the theaters do fill up like every show.
Well, yeah, because it's popular.
It's popular, like and it's a long show, so it's a little bit of a time commitment.
How long is the show?
And you're gonna ask me that. I don't exactly remember. I just remember it feeling long.
It's feeling really long. Okay.
And it is outdoors, so that's one thing to think about. Like if it's hot, it's a hot day and stuff. And it's old. Like it hasn't been updated in forever. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But I think skippable C for me is where I would put it.
See, so. I think not being updated is one of its strengths because
I like that too. But
yeah, it's original Indiana Jones. How about we compromise, put it at B?
Okay.
And maybe I'll think about maybe move it off there. But I think C is too, like, I do think it's I guess in terms of stunt shows, and we talk about this similar thing in like Universal Studios, we put the Bourne Spectacular really high over there.
Mm-hmm, we love that one.
So I feel like this one, it's on a similar level in terms of like, I really enjoy that show.
Yeah.
So I think B is fair.
Okay.
So, all right, what's the next one we got?
The next one we have is Mickey and Minnie in Vacation Fun, which is the Mickey Shorts Theater. It just plays Vacation Fun shorts.
I mean, I personally would probably go D.
Oh, I picked F. I've never seen it. I don't want to spend my time at a theme park watching like a short from a cartoon.
I'm good with F. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I thought maybe I was being a little too.
No, I mean maybe I am being harsh, but I literally have never seen it.
I mean, if you're just talking the shorts, you can watch this anywhere. Yeah.
I think this one's exclusive to the park, but yeah, you can find it online.
Right.
Yeah. So unless you it's just a really busy day and you just need some AC for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's just personally my opinion, obviously.
Okay.
Okay. Last one for Echo Lake. We're going to go for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along in the Hyperion Theater.
I mean, this one's going to run into if you have kids or you don't have kids. That's where like this probably, I would say delineate. Because if you don't have kids, I mean, I'm sure there's people like this that don't have kids. But for the most part, this is very like kid heavy. I think if you have kids, it probably becomes at least an A.
I agree. I think if you have small kids, at least you have, especially girls, you're gonna want to do this every time. Probably.
I mean, we do it multiple times, and it is a good show. Now, It used to be funnier, in my opinion, back when Equity Ben, he's the one that wrote the show. He's no longer doing stuff with Disney, but when he wrote it and he performed in it, it was really, really good.
Yeah,
it's still really good. I will admit, some of the new actresses and actors they have in there, it's always a solid show. So I think even though you have, Let It Go in there, they don't play it on repeat, which is nice for all the dads out there. But I would say an A. I would say A. I think it's solid.
It's very funny, even for adults, like you were saying. It's great for kids. It's a 30-minute show or 27 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a long one, but again, you're in the AC. It's got the interactive elements with like the bubbles that come down or the snow. I enjoy the show every time I see it. Is it something I want? Is it an A? Maybe.
Again, if you have kids or not.
If you have kids, for us, we would probably consider it an A. We just think it's a very well done show and we like it.
Yeah.
So
now, if it wasn't for our kids, I personally wouldn't go see this. But that's just me though.
Okay. So we're putting it A?
I think A.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna move a little bit over into Grand Park. And we're gonna go to Muppet Vision 3D.
Oh man. Here's the thing. I like Muppets, but I grew up with Muppets. And I've talked about it many times. I think Disney is going to have to get to the point where they just stop doing Muppet stuff because none of it has caught on TV or anything in the past like 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Muppet Vision 3D is... I took our kids into it. You didn't go the last time I did it. It was like a few months ago. We went in there. And like it's entertaining, but it's not on par with like other types of shows in that way. I would say probably falls into... I'd probably put C in skippable. I think it's a pretty skippable attraction. I like it, but it's not like anything that's amazing.
I like the Muppets just fine. I would say C. It's skippable.
I do feel like C is the proper place to put it.
Yeah. I'll say C. I'll agree with that.
Okay.
All right. Well,
that's all there is in Echo Lake.
Well, that was Echo Lake. That was
Sorry,
Grand Park.
I meant Grand Park.
Yes.
Excuse me.
We're going to move into Galaxy's Edge now. We're just going to make our way around the park. We're going to start with Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run.
I have some thoughts on this ride. Okay, I'm going to get some hate here. So, maybe I won't get some hate. I think this ride is one that sounds fantastic on paper. You have the Millennium Falcon. You can pilot it. All these things. The problem to me comes into, like, Star Wars has all the different scenes you can do. This
Star Tours.
Yeah, Star Tours. Mm-hmm. This doesn't change, where I feel like it easily could and should. I feel like it should have some variability to it. I also, like, unless you're a pilot, your experience is pretty meh to me. I don't think you're going to experience much in that way. So for me, I mean, our daughter likes doing it and she likes to be the pilot, and our son probably will. He's getting to that age where he'll want to as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know. For me personally, I think this could probably go into like mid. Part of me wants to put it at skippable, but I feel like it's not quite a C tier. What are you thinking?
Well, you notice that Jared did not mention me in that because I can't write it.
If you guys don't know, Jamie has very bad motion sickness.
I do.
So
I do have
this one is a no-go for her.
This one's especially bad for me. I don't know if it's just sometimes when the motion of the vehicle doesn't match what you're seeing on screen, that becomes a problem for me.
Yeah. Like
the speeds or whatever. Made me sick as a dog when I did it the first time, and that was the only time I did it. So for me, this is definitely skippable. So I would put it at C.
Yeah.
I understand when people like it, but I personally just can't do it. So what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm good with skippable. I thought I was being too harsh at B, but like the problem I have with this is like it is have cool elements like the Millennium Falcon, and you get to go in there and see some of the stuff. It's fine. I just think it would go up to almost an A tier if it was just like you were in there and you rode along, and then you could like during it was like, okay, push this or do this. You had certain responsibilities, but it's like if you're the pilot, it's fun. But and I get it too. Say you're in there and like little kids are piloting it. You're hitting everything.
Yes.
You're bumping into stuff.
That is
like,
a problem.
It's just one of these things where it's such a varied experience. And I think like, again, on paper, it sounds awesome. It's just in execution falls flat.
Well, when we did it, it was right after, like, it was COVID times.
Oh, you had your own
so
one
we
to
didn't
yourself.
have to share.
Oh, I wrote it by myself.
And I did it with him.
I was a pilot by myself, and it would like ink. So I was like, that was great. But when you're in there with other people, then it's like, you know, and the single rider doesn't work very well. Like, a lot of times you're waiting a long time too.
That's true. Okay, so we're gonna put that at C. You say?
I'm good with putting it at
That's
C.
fine. Hey, this is our list. We can do whatever we want.
I may get some hate for that, but that's where it's gonna go.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to I'm gonna call it one of the headliners. Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance.
I mean, I think it's an S. It's a fantastic ride. When everything's working, it's great. Even when it's not, it's still like a solid ride.
It's absolutely an S.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not even into Star Wars, and I think it's an S. So
it's a very unique. Like, there's nothing else like it. Again, I'm not a huge fan of, like, say, Kylo Ren. I think it would be a much better ride if you had like Darth Vader and stuff in there. But even with what it has in there, yeah, it's great. I mean, you're riding around the 80ATs and all that stuff. It has its issues of being up. I think of the biggest downfall is like it sometimes is it goes down a lot, which has been the case ever since it opened. But it's when it's running and you can get in there, it's S tier all the way.
Okay, I agree. So there you go.
Okay.
All right, so let's move from Galaxy's Edge, and we're going to move into Toy Story Land. And we're going to start with Alien Swirling Saucers.
Alien Swirling Saucers. This ride already looks like it's 10 years old or 15 years old. It looked that way like a year and a half after it was in there.
It really did.
Our kids like it, but even at the point now where our kids are starting to be like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I think it probably falls into, I'm going to say D. Someone will like it in that being kids. Like, I think
I put D as well.
If it's less than 20 minutes, like, okay, but this ride many times gets a 35, 45 minutes.
Oh gosh,
sometimes
the other day was an hour, and I was like,
This ride is nowhere near worth that.
Yeah.
Plus, all the rides in Toy Story Land, you're talking about waiting outside in queues. So when it's hot outside, you're just sweating. Yeah, it's just it's it's almost like Navi River Journey. It's okay for what it is, but the fact that it's like the second, well, I'd say second, third. It's in a popular land. The wait times get up there. It's just not worth anything more than like 25 minutes in line.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Moving on to the next one is Slinky Dog Dash.
Probably would go S.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is S for
I mean,
me.
it's
100%.
a solid coaster. It's a good family. I mean, it's not the most intense thing you're ever going to ride, but like,
absolutely not. But
yeah.
it's so fun.
Well, it's themed well to
Yes.
the land, and like it's smooth. It's fun. It's not too intense. Where like our son's probably that age where we'll probably get him on it sometime soon. Our daughter likes it. Mm-hmm. Again, the main downfall to this one is just the queue is outside.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
But yeah, it's a solid roller coaster. I mean, again, if you're like awesome. A big coaster person, you may think it's kind of lame, but as a family coaster or like a themed ride in the land, I think it's solid.
I mean, it's consistently the first Genie Plus selection to go during the day.
Oh, for sure.
Consistently. So, I mean, like, there you go for that. But yeah, for me, it's an S.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
All right. Last one in Toy Story Land, Toy Story Mania.
It's an S for me because I love this thing because I'm competitive. I like to try and get the high score. I would ride this all day long. I love this ride.
This is an A for me. This is an A. This is not it's super duper amazing attraction in my opinion, but it is a ride every time one.
I will agree to disagree. I think to me again, I have loved this ride for years. I'm very competitive. I like video games, so like our daughter and I get a little competitive. I like to get to high score as much as I can, so it's got a lot of re-rideability. It has an indoor queue. It does have that going for it.
I mean, yes.
So like you don't have to wait outside. It's themed well.
True.
Like the theming inside is fantastic.
Again, it's a ride every time, but superb, not in my opinion. Well, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do A?
Well, listen,
or
we
S?
can have our own. We can have separate lists. We need to.
Well, no, this is a list we do together.
How about we tentatively say S and see if it gets moved off of there? Because we don't have too many in the S, but we can have like 2 or 3. But I say S.
Okay, we're gonna have too many in S. I'm just telling you right now.
You can have as many as you want and whatever. There's no like limit.
Okay.
The sky's the limit here.
Okay. All right, let's go to Animation Courtyard, and we're going to start with Walt Disney Presents.
I love Walt Disney and the history of Walt Disney stuff. Being an attraction in a theme park, I don't know how many people check this out. I mean, me personally, I like it, but it probably falls into skippable, I would say at least.
Yeah, this is one of those things where if you can do it once, and you don't need to do it again for a while.
I guess the only thing would be if you like something playing in the theater.
Yes.
That's like previews and stuff like that. But I mean, once you go, again, like I love the history of Walt, but you go through it once or twice, like, you've seen it. That part doesn't change. I don't really get new stuff in there.
That's true. So I put it skippable as well. Yeah. So, okay. The next one in Animation Courtyard is Star Wars Launch Bay. The most confusing location for something Star Wars.
And yes, there's 3 different areas of Hollywood studios that have Star Wars. I think, this is where you can meet Darth Vader. Now, don't get me started on the fact that Darth Vader apparently can't be in Galaxy's Edge.
I don't want to go into that.
Baffling.
No, I don't want to do that.
Because you can meet Darth Vader, and like it is a cool meet and greet, and it's a cool area if you're a Star Wars fan. I think, I don't know if it's an every time thing, so I'd probably put like a B. Like if you don't go a lot and you're into Star Wars, part of me thinks like it depends on what type of Star Wars you like. You may like Launch Bay more than Galaxy's Edge.
Well, it's got Chewbacca, it's got Darth Vader, and it's got BB-8, right?
BB-8, yeah. Okay. And then it's got a bunch of stuff in there, like you can see like props and things from movies and everything like that. So if you like meet and greets, I mean, it's up there. And again, you can meet Darth Vader, and you can't meet him anywhere else other than here.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you say? Did you say B?
I said B.
Okay, we can do B. That's fine. B
is. I guess the caveat would be if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not, you're not going to care about it.
Right.
So.
All right. Moving to the next one, and the last one in Animation Courtyard, which is Disney Junior Play and Dance.
Which goes in again if you have children. So for us, like our kids, and like when we go with like my brother and his family, Like our kids are all close to the same age. They love this. So I think if your kids are probably under 10 and under probably around there where it starts getting
But
covered.
here's the thing. As a parent, I don't like this one.
Oh, I can't stand it as a parent. You have to sit on the floor.
Yes.
It's
so for someone that doesn't have children and someone that does have children, I think we both alike would not like this. So I put this as a D.
I mean, if
like
you don't, the thing is, if you don't have kids, this would come into like D or F. Yeah. If you have kids, the kids are going to think this is probably like an A or a B.
I think it's a D. That's
I mean, as an adult, I completely agree.
Yes.
Someone will like it being kids. But if you were to ask a kid, they're going to think this is amazing.
Right. Exactly. All right. Okay, let's move out of Animation Courtyard into Hollywood Boulevard. And we're going to go to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Where do I put this? I like it. I mean, a lot of people don't like the fact that it replaced Great Movie Ride, but I had said too, like, I don't know. Great Movie Ride was getting very dated, in my opinion. I guess I would say A. I like it.
I put A too.
Yeah, like it's something I will ride every time, but if it's down, I'm not like, I'll put it this way. I would be much more disappointed if I couldn't ride Rise of the Resistance versus this. Mm-hmm. So it's a solid ride. It's just, yeah. Sometimes it gets, does it go down a lot? I feel like when we're there, it's down quite a bit.
It goes down sometimes. It does.
I mean, it's got the trackless ride system that probably causes some issues here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I say A for that one.
Okay.
For sure.
We agree.
We agree.
Huzzah. We agree. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the last land, which is Sunset Boulevard. And we're going to start with Beauty and the Beast live on stage.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen this. I don't like musicals. First and foremost, they are not the thing that I enjoy. So for me, I would say at the very least C. At the very least.
You know, I feel like this is a really great show. It again, if you're not really into like musicals or song and dance stuff, maybe this isn't your thing. For me, I would put it B or C. Sorry, you wanted to do C?
I mean, that's where I would put it.
Okay. Well, I said B or C, so that's fine.
Okay.
Next one is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy.
Yet again, if children here, if you have kids, you're going to look at this differently. Our son loves this, but he loves cars. It's a cool show. I mean, the Lightning McQueen animatronic they use there is actually pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I would say for what it is, it's pretty short too. Like it's I would probably say. I mean, it almost comes when you talk about the D, someone will like it, the D being kids, but it is well done. So I guess I could put it in either mid or skippable is where I would probably say.
Okay.
What do you think?
I would have said D.
I mean, I'm okay putting it D, like I said. Like someone will like it being kids, but for what it is, like a kid's show, if you think of like along the lines of Frozen, it's not a sing-along, but if your kids are into cars, it's a short and sweet little show. They get in and out. You see lightning, there's a lot of, I guess, action in it. So I guess we could put it at D, but I do think it's enjoyable. Although I will say bleacher seating is not the best.
No, it's not. Okay, so the second to last one on the list is Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith.
Considering I don't like roller coasters much, and I've never ridden this, I will. And yes, people can say what they want. If it goes upside down, I'm out, personally speaking. But I don't have much opinion on the ride. I think having Aerosmith in it is a bit dated. But personally speaking, I think they should put Creed in there. But I think if they put Creed in here, it would just be a hit.
Just maybe.
Arms right up, and you just go through the loops. I'm telling you, people would love it.
Maybe.
They're having a resurgence.
So what are you going to put it at?
I don't know. I have no opinion. You're the one that has ridden it.
So unfortunately, I love this ride. I just can't ride it anymore. I can't do anything that goes upside down anymore. In the last 2 years, it's something I have to deal with my motion sickness and head and vertigo and all the stuff that I've got. So I would still put it at either A or B because I love it. I just can't ride it.
Yeah.
So
where would you want to put it?
I mean, honestly, I'd stick it at A, to be honest.
Okay.
So, okay. All right.
Would it move up if it had a better band? Or does that make any difference in the ride?
I mean, I think it would still be popular.
I think
People would still ride it regardless.
Yeah, like I've seen the concept is so silly to me. I don't know. Steven Tyler's like, oh, come on,
Let's go
man.
to the concert, man.
Like, I remember you from Wayne's World.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
They should
you are not old, sir.
They should do Wayne's World on here.
Okay.
Listen, I will fight anybody. Wayne's World those two movies are fantastic.
They are fantastic. Last attraction on our list is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. You can guess where I'm gonna put this on my list.
I have a feeling you're going to put S.
This is a big S for me. A big S for me.
Again, I don't like big drops. I do like the theming of this and the ambiance of that whole area. So, and being an S doesn't surprise me. It's a very popular ride.
But it's not what you would put it at. You would put it at like what?
Well, I don't ride these types of rides, though. This would be like me
right.
talking about a food that I hate. Like, I'm just not going to rate it well. So I would defer to you, but I will say the theming and the idea of it and like all that stuff, like the time period, I think it's really cool.
Well, seeing as how it is my favorite attraction at Disney World, you're gonna put it at an S. So
well, that makes sense.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's your story. That's your prerogative.
So should I go back and read what everything is?
Sure.
All right, starting at the top for S, we've got the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. We'll stick a Toy Story Mania up there for you.
I think it's an S tier.
Slinky Dog Dash and Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. For A, we have For the First Time Forever, a Frozen Sing-Along, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. For B, we have Star Wars Launch Bay. We've got Star Tours The Adventure Continues, and Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. C is Walt Disney Presents Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage, and Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. D was a bunch of kids' rides. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, Disney Junior Play and Dance, Alien Swirling Saucers, and alone at the bottom of the list, and F is Mickey and Minnie in Vacation Fun.
Yes. So
that is our list.
That is our tier list. So either a lot of people are agreeing or they're probably throwing things right now at us. It's just fine.
If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't agree with us, let us know.
Yeah. And if you have hate mail, send it over eduardo@ctm.show. He will get back to you promptly.
Also, if you don't agree, you have to give us reasons why. Like, you have to justify it, because if you just say I don't agree, be like, well, how come?
Jamie's telling you what you have to do.
I want to know. I want to know what your reasoning is, man.
I just will only look at the positives.
Okay.
I act like the negatives don't exist. I was like, I don't even know. Everybody agreed with me.
Okay.
Like, what was this pile of hate mail? Pfft, I don't know. Not me.